I mean, it's real. Like in India, when you're born, as soon as you're born, they have your astrology chart drawn out, and that astrology chart will tell you exactly what your age is, what you'll do at different ages, what kind of a person you'll be. Everything about you is actually in there. Like I know it was done for me as soon as I was born. So in a sense, it is true. It's not something new. It's like not a new trend that people are obsessed with it. It's actually an age-old thing. Now people may be catching up in a different sense, but this is an age-old science that has existed and it's pretty precise for those who know how to do it. We all have a swabhava, a nature that we get based on the influences we are born under. Even the influences we are born under is based on the karma we have accumulated from past lives. So nothing in this world is actually just random. We're born in certain circumstances, in certain families, under certain environments because of our past activities. It's karmic where we're born in. And we come into this world with some influences with us from our past lives, right? We're also going to create some influences in this life. There's that too. So it is real that we do have personalities. Now, this could be used in a good way that if I actually knew the astrological profile of the people in my team, for example, I can better engage with people. It's kind of like in the modern ways, people do psychometric tests. At organizations I know I've worked with, they'll do your profile, and you're supposed to keep your profile on your desk. What's the point of it? The point of it is, oh, this is this kind of a person. Let's customize our communication. So in a sense, it is good if you know, like that this kind of like I know for myself when I was again my birth astrology exactly told me what the nature of told my parents what my nature is going to be and things like that. So you know this is this kind of a person, let me grow this person in this way because this will naturally come to that person. So in a sense it is good for that purpose, so you can align your tendencies with that. But when people start using it as a replacement of their human ability to make decisions, that's when it gets tricky. Astrology is not like, I'm not an astrologer, first of all. Like I'm not an astrologer, I'm more like a consumer of it rather than anything else. But when we start to turn to it as like, here is like, I can't take this decision, you please tell me, Mr. Astrologer or Miss Astrologer, like what I need to do, that's when it starts to get tricky. Astrology is not the ultimate. It is telling you, like Prabhupada said, it gives you the weather report. The skies are cloudy, it doesn't mean you have to get wet. When people have little knowledge of what astrology is and then they start using it, this is tricky with everything. Like if I have a little knowledge of science and I no I try to be the doctor for somebody, I'm going to create a lot of trouble and havoc. The same thing, astrology is a very precise science. It can pretty accurately predict, it can even tell you who you were in your past life and everything, and what influence, what you did, what influences you bring in. But when you don't have the in-depth knowledge and you just today's culture actually is a bit like, I've read a book, now I'm an expert. I've asked ChatGPT, so now I'm an expert. Please don't think astrology is something that cheap. It's a very advanced math. It's a very advanced math. I mean, think about it. We come into this world with influences. If you come into a country, say if I come to the United States, or if I come to China, or if I go to India, you're under the influence of the government, you're under the influence of the people, you're under the influence of the culture, isn't it? The way you would dress would be different if you were going to a party with a certain kind of friends, and it would be different if you are going to a place to see your grandparents. It's different, right? So wherever we go, there's pre-existing influences. We have an oversimplified idea of this world, that this world is kind of like benign, and we're the only so-called intelligent species in this universe. And that's where the problem lies. Actually, the world is not benign. There's planets and there's governments on different planets, and we live under their influence. When you're in the United States, you drive on one side of the road. When you're in India, you drive on the other side of the world, because there's different governments in power, there's different influences in power. And you can't say, I like it or I don't like it, you have to follow. Similarly, when we're born into this world, there's so many influences we are under. Modern civilization teaches us to think the only influences our mind and what we want, right? But actually, astrology is making you aware of the different influences you're under. There's different planets. On those planets, there's different personalities. Those personalities have different natures, and when they rule, They bring in different influences in your life. Each influence is ultimately an opportunity to connect with your original nature of being a servant of the Supreme. Different influences call for different actions on our part. But there, all these influences are not like, people are like, oh, I'm under this bad star, this star. All these influences are just there to push you closer to Krishna. But we kind of get caught up in that. This is a really bad thing. That's a really good thing. Oh, I got good stars going on. I'm going to make this. That's not the point. All these influences are teaching you that the material world's constantly changing. And we need to figure out how to get out of here, because we want to come under the ultimate influence of the spiritual planets. We don't want to be in this world of ever changing influences. The point is, when I was little, I was in 5th or 6th grade, some very saintly astrologer, he kind of like did my whole astrology. And he said clearly in there, he said there was a line, he said like, her life is meant for a different purpose. She has to meet her guru and finish that purpose in this life. Like, her parents should not push her towards engineering, medical school, MBA, this, that, is. I cried so much. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fail my exams. Why does it say this? I was like, what spiritual? Like, I'm just gonna be a homeless beggar, this, that, the other, because I had no idea. But I remember I was just in 6th or 7th grade. This was when, yeah, I know it was 6th or 7th grade. And I read that. I was just so devastated. It said, her life is meant for higher purpose. She's not meant for this worldly kind of thing. And I'm like, what? This is horrible.
Yeah,
I was so devastated. Yeah, but I didn't think like that. I was thinking like, I want to make it big. I want to be a CEO. I want to have this much money. And you read that, then what do you think? It just, I was like all shattered. I was like, what are you talking about? Little did I know until I met my spiritual master. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it was like a snap, like all the way back to then. That's crazy.
It was just like, oh, and I remember when he asked me to start chanting, I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm so busy. But he said, maybe you could do one. And he was very like patient with me. I said I could do one. I was 21, talking to this amazing Swami sannyasi, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. I can't believe I did that. But it's like, there's influences in your life. Astrology can tell you the influences, your tendencies. It's very precise, but the choice is yours. It's not taking away free will from you. It's not, predestination and free will go hand in hand. Like, it's not like your whole life is written out. You will do this, and you will take that turn, and then you'll fall on that corner. It's not like that. There is an influence you have, but then you have your free will. You may be under the influence, difficult influences, and have a lot of accidents, God knows what all, but you still have the free will to use that as an opportunity for spiritual advancement or complete depression. That's your free. That's the choice. Human beings always have free will. This list, I was reading this actually yesterday. Yes, it's you're in the playground. The playground is determined, but what you do in the playground is your choice. You pluck the tree out, you plant a tree, that's your choice. You're in the playground, but you have a choice.
Huh. Huh. Yeah, that's basically life, because nothing that we do in life is new or anything. So it's like, it's definitely the playground. Like, it's the same playground. Like,
yeah. That's a good point. Most people today, by the time they're 10, 15 years of age, have done everything you can do with this body, right? There's nothing new to do, right? You just tried with different people in different places, but you've already done everything you can with your body by the time you're 15 years of age. Maybe it's even younger. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the statistics are, but so what, those material activities are not new. And in a sense, you're also right, because the mistakes you've made in this life, you are carrying on from your past life. It's not the first time you're making that mistake. You've made it before and before and before. And what you do is, when you keep making it again and again, you're accumulating more of that samskara, that impression, like in your mind. So you'll make it again. Unless you have higher knowledge, unless you turn to Krishna, unless you actually make, like, this, in this material world, you came with a certain spirit. I want this. That I want this is such a deep obsession that we just go crazy about it. Like, don't think like, like you made poor choices in this life. No, we made these poor choices when we were 10 years old, 5 years old, previous life, because we have that same tendency to, like, maybe we have the same tendency to take the easy route. Just giving an example, like maybe that's the tendency. But that original tendency we're getting with is, I want to make a quick buck. So I don't know if it makes any sense. You have the free will, but the free will is limited. It's not like you can choose anybody, anything. It's not like that. Your free will is you can choose Maya or you can choose Krishna. Like you had the choice to come tonight or not come tonight, right? So what made you choose to come?
I was already driving in this area, and then I looked at the time. And I'm like, it's way past 6:30. And I'm like, I might as well just go. I might as well just go ahead and
But
book.
what was that feeling that I might just as well go? Like what did you feel at that time?
Like like I rather I'd rather be late with 15 minutes left or 30 minutes left than like have to go like a whole 7 days and wait next Friday.
That is spiritual advancement because you're starting to feel some attachment, some attraction. That feeling like I will have to go 7 days without it. That longing, that is Krishna.